Okay, folks, good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon here, and I just got back relatively early from Hurricon, which technically is still going on. I went on Friday morning, all day yesterday, and a little bit this morning. Really didn't play anything this morning, just kind of hung out with folks, helped somebody identify some DBA armies and stuff like that. Just kind of chilled and left about 1 o'clock. Just got home, and I got some stuff to show you guys. There is some stuff out there that could be gotten for a really good deal. And I also got something in the mail, of course, that arrived yesterday. Not a big deal, but it's, so literally the worst day it could have come in because, it's been sitting here for a day, and I could have used it the day before. But we'll do an unboxing on that. We got lots of stuff to show you guys. All 1/72nd-ish scale stuff. So if that's not your thing, then, well, it shouldn't be a surprise what scale my stuff is in. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started. A lot of cool stuff out there. So, got this in the mail. This is 3D printed stuff for my Gasland vehicles. This is from a vendor on Etsy that I've never done business with. I don't know what's in here. I mean, I know what's supposed to be in here, but I don't know what quality is. So we'll get to that. Let's do the model stuff first. So, flea market, Historicon. I've said before, I go to these shows and there's usually not much for me to buy because I'm into a scale that people don't really have anything for. 1/72nd scale things, people are just, it's yesterday's scale here in the United States. Hey, what's up, Rick? You got a set of AWI rules in the mail too? Okay. You gonna hang with me for a while? You've seen probably all this stuff because I ran into you there, but you haven't seen this. So I haven't seen it either. It's there. So I'm gonna go over everything that I picked up. I hardly spent any money. I spent less than $50, I think. And I got a lot for $50. But 1/72nd scale in the United States, nobody does 1/72nd scale armor. So I either go places, I go to a store, they don't have anything. You go online, they don't have anything for it. You can find it on eBay, but nobody wants to pay the freight for it, the shipping for it. So usually I get stuff that somebody's been sitting on for a long time. They're tired of looking at it. They want to get rid of it. So I usually, if I find some, get a really good deal. Now, last show, Recon, I bought a ton of stuff for more than this. I bought a bunch of tanks for $2 a piece. And lo and behold, I saved somebody again from keeping all this stuff. At the flea market, remember, I ended up picking 3 of these up last year. And I got a bunch of stuff at $2 a piece, so you'll see. And you're wondering, well, why do you have so many of these things? I said, well, I can't ever go and find these. So not only is it a good deal, it's like might as well make hay while the sun still shines. So we're going to go into the models that we got, which is a ton, and I'm probably not going to start on any of these anytime soon. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. I've kind of looked through here. I haven't really, I may unbox a few things if something looks really interesting. So, Airfix. The Airfix M4 tank, and all of these that I'm going to bring up, these were all $2 a piece. Okay? So this was $2 a piece for this Airfix M4 Sherman. This retails for, I don't know, $9, $8, something like that. Anyhow, brand new Sherman. All right? All right, what else do we have? Did we get another one of those? I don't remember if I did or not. Yep, and I got another Sherman Mark I, which is an M4A2. They call them exactly the same box as the one Hobby Lobby used to carry this. They don't carry this anymore. Hobby Lobby doesn't have shit anymore for me. These are all things, I'm going to go through the things that I already have one of, that are that you guys have probably seen if you've seen any of my builds or anything like that. Did he miss anything? Nope. Perfect timing, my friend. I just got in. So I'm going to go over the stuff that that you guys probably have already seen. that they already have at least one copy of. These are all $2 a piece. I picked them up. So M4 Sherman, got 2 of those. Opal Blitz and Pack 40 gun. These are all available still. So this is not surprising. You know, you get a Opal Blitz truck, which builds really nice, and you get a Pack 40. Okay? I didn't go through and open all these, so there could be stuff missing. I figure I'd take a chance on that. I'm probably going to store these outside. I don't know how old these boxes are, but I don't want any respiratory issues, which, you know, that sounds like, you know, I'm delicate or something, but I mean, these boxes were breaking down. The stuff in them. Okay, Opal Blitz, 2 air fixes. What else do we have here that we have one of before? This. These are all $2 a piece. Another Hasegawa Panther, you know, because I need more Panthers. Hey, it's $2. I'm not going to leave it, and I'll build it. Right in the package. You know, it's old technology, but, you know, it works just fine. This is for a Panther G, so I'm not going to put Zimmerit on it. So, you know, that's what we're going to go with. Should be able to work fine. Let me do one thing. Hopefully this is a waste of time doing this. Just reminding me. Your boy Bob, what's up, man? So I've put several of these together. I had one of these a long time ago, and I think I got another one relatively recently. So then we got Panther. If you have a Panther A, it should have Zimmerit. Every Panther A should have Zimmerit. Panther G's, the early ones would have Zimmerit, the later ones don't. Okay, Panther G from Hasegawa. I've built this before. Still available. Okay, retails, I don't know, $12, $14, something like that. $2, I'm taking it, and I'll build it. What else do we have that we've built before? That may be it. So the rest of it is all relatively new things. Well, this one's half one and half the other. Matchbox Sherman Firefly. Now this one is 1/76 scale. I have one that I got from the estate sale that somebody had already built, but this one is completely unbuilt. I believe this comes with a diorama base. I have never put one of these together. These are no longer available. They're relatively expensive if you try to buy one on eBay. They're well loved by people. The box art, of course, is awesome looking. And I have never put one of these together. So, and it has a diorama base, so maybe we can work that into something. Okay? $2. I'm going to say $2 a lot. A tank that I don't need any more of, because I have at least 5 of them in die cast. Plus, I have another 203 in plastic. And now I just picked up a Matchbox 3L. Now this one also comes with a diorama base. I don't know that the diorama base has much to it. $2 a piece. Made in Poland. Interesting. Let's open one of these. Let's open one of these up. Let's hopefully I don't have my voice doesn't start sounding funny. Okay, here's your diorama base that has tank tracks on it. Soft rubber band tracks that hopefully will not fall apart on me. Not too many pieces. Now all my other ones are 1/72, so this one's going to be a little small, but smaller than the others. I don't know if you can make another model other than the L, but you can already tell. This isn't opened, and you can already tell. Look at the instructions. Look at the color of the instructions. They're yellowed. This means they're probably decomposing, and I probably need to put them away. All this stuff is available on ScaleMates or whatever. But I've never built a Matchbox kit. They were out of production before I started doing this stuff, so. All right. Probably none of them are going to be for Africa. These are all 1942 stuff and late 1942. $2 for this. Okay? Not only did I get that one, but the guy had 2 more. So we got 3 of these. Okay? Alright, what else? Staying on Matchbox, because I need more T-34s. And there was some stuff this guy had I didn't buy. Okay? He had some T-34s, but they were the Model A's, you know, the early ones. I got like 9 of them from Skytrex. I've got 5 of them painted, and I still got like 4 of them more to paint, and like they only built 400 of those things. Okay? The early T-34 is actually my favorite looking one, but I didn't pick those up. But I did pick up this one, because this is a Model 140, 142. Never built this thing. What kind of a diorama base we got in there? Oh, we got the Russian fence with little man. All right, well, $2 for this thing. This one's already open. Let's see what we got here. Tech tracks. Wow, this thing's wild colored. Yeah, this thing's wild colored. Now, here's actually one that comes in handy having it in 176 scale, because all of my Skytrex ones are 176. So it'll go in fine with all of them. And it has a lot more detail than the Skytrex ones do. And it has an AA machine gun, which none of the Skytrex ones do. So this is something relatively easy to put together. Here is the diorama base. I don't know that... I'm not going to say that's not useful. I could probably paint that up and put it as scatter terrain, you know. Instructions that are decomposing. No decals. It probably wouldn't be any good anyways. hand painting my Soviet markings are half the fun anyways. So, good stuff. Tracks. They haven't fallen apart yet. They haven't dry rotted yet. T-34 is white for snow paint jobs. Well, I don't know what I'm going to use this one for. It's probably going to be a snow paint job for Wintergewitter. What else do we got that's Matchbox? By the way, never put one of these together. A Priest. Okay, Matchbox Priest. Comes with a diorama base. Looks like you could do one for Casino. Although I thought the British didn't use this one. They used the one called a Deacon? The Deacon, I think, is the 25-pounder. I'm not going to open any more up. I can already feel it in my throat. You know, and here's the thing. They're not dusty to your touch. It's not like you went to an old hobby store and they're covered in dust. These aren't covered in dust. I just think the instructions are falling apart and they might have, I don't know, asbestos or something like that. So hopefully this isn't the last time you hear from me. So, a Priest. I have none of these. I have no Priest. Well, now we have 1 and 2 more. $2 a piece. Not available in stores. Cool stuff. Hey, keep it down over there. All right. What else do we got? This thing, an Eschi 250/9. This one's 1/72. I've got a Rommel's little 250/3 by the same people, and the tracks were an issue. Like they weren't there. They were missing. So this one has the tracks, and a really dark color. Interesting. Anyhow, this is I may not build some of these things for a while because I'm doing the Gasland stuff right now. But doesn't mean I would just, hey, stop, I feel like building something. You know. So, $2. Here's something really, really old. Okay, I believe this is 1/76 scale. Yep. I die! Some of the best artwork ever is this company. And this is a Verbelwind. Now, this thing's probably going to be pretty crude, but I love this artwork. It's like an oil painting. This is actually probably one of the ugliest eye dyes. E-dye? Eye dye? I don't know. Not available anymore. 1/76. And it's an old model, yet it has pretty much one-piece tracks. But wait, there's a bonus. They give me a Panzer IV turret. So I could probably build this as a Panzer IV. G, but it's got the little side vision things on the side of the turret like an F2. So it's got the double muzzle brake like a G, but it's got the little side things on the turret, which they did away with the G model. So I got it to make it a verbal vend. I only have one verbal vend, and it's not the correct size. Can you make an Ostvend out of it? Maybe not. Oh, and it comes with a little trailer. So you can take it to the market and get some milk. Milch! Anyhow, of all these things, this is probably one of the things I'm going to paint first, because it's kind of a cool... This is a really good objective vehicle. You have some guys that have to go blow up something like this before the Yabos come in. Okay, $2. So, if you think... what else do we have This was $1, and it's a Fujimi House and Lookout. Now, I didn't look in here. I just saw it was $1. It says 2 lookout towers, no house. So, let's see if that's accurate. Yep, 2 lookout towers. Honestly, that's pretty handy for the freaking, like a Japanese airfield. Got some sandbags in there. Got a ladder. What kind of gun is that? Some make-believe thing. It's like a banana. It has a banana clip like a Bren gun, but who knows what it is. Cool little tower. I'll buy that for $1. I did. I don't know who makes these. My first thought is Frontline, because I have some Frontline stuff. But this is a tank I don't have any of. A jumbo. I have no jumbos. I have lots of Shermans. No jumbos. So I believe this is Frontline. Only because I have some Frontline stuff. So he had that one and this one. So 2 jumbos. Need a little bit of cleaning up on the resin. And that's great. I've been talking about getting some. And they're the 75mm one, which is perfect. I don't want the 76s. They didn't make that many of these things, but they made a heck of a lot more 75s than they did 76s. All right, let me take a drink because I'm talking a lot. All right, what else do we got? That's probably the worst deals of all of this. And these are steals. And I think these are probably the worst deals of all of them. That means the stuff that I got left is even a bigger deal, I think. This is also $2. This is a Crusader Miniatures, and this is an armored recovery vehicle for M32. So it's based on a Sherman chassis. What's up, Urf? I guess that means you're out for a walk. You have a cracking time at the show? Well, I woke up with a little bit of a headache, but yeah, I had a pretty good time. It's just good to see people again. You know, there's even less people playing DBA now than when I was playing. Like, half, probably. So, this is also probably a priority item. It's nice having these things that are kind of objective things. You know? Objective things. So, yeah, there's a pile of stuff over here. These are all $2 a piece. All right. Now for the really good deals. All right? These are, you know, and I don't need any of this stuff. Okay? No, you were sat down watching 1944 and saw that. Oh, 1944 is good. 1944 is good. Okay. We've got, let's see, which of these is probably the shittiest deal? Italeri, which is I think this is the old Eschi T-34-76. So it's the same tank as this one, but I believe this one's 1/72nd scale. Got a paint scheme on the back. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. Separate link track. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, this is basically the S-Sheet T34 76. Okay? $2. I believe they still make this. It's probably, I don't know, 12 bucks, 14 bucks, something like that. All right, now, it keeps getting better. I don't have much stuff. Speaking of T34s that are in 1/72nd scale, which all my T34s are 1/76th. So we have a weird one here. Well, it's got some partners. Guy had some Armor Fast T34 76s. So for $2, there should be 2 tanks in here. And there isn't. There's only one. Aha! Well, it's still a good deal. A bit crude, but it'll work just fine. But I got another one. How many are in here? This one has 2. All right, so one package only had 1 in them. The other one had both. So for $4, I got 3 Armor Fast tanks. It ain't bad. That ain't bad. You know? That's a collector's item now. The Armor Fast stuff? Maybe. Yeah, it's pretty crude, but I mean, it's no worse looking than my Skytrex ones. And I mean, to say that this is going to take a while to put together, no. I mean, this is like freaking super easy. So, okay. That happened the other day. I didn't look in the package. Remember? And I got only one of the things in it. It's not a big deal. I feel like I'm ripping him off. Getting all these things. And the reality is I've put almost everything together. And I've painted a good bit of it. So, you know, for $2, even if I don't ever paint it, which is not likely to happen, you know, I'm getting a good deal. All right, 2 things left. I'm going to leave the best one for last. Airfix Pontoon Bridge. Here's a collector's item. I don't believe they make this anymore. $3. I haven't even looked in here. Now, I honestly got this because it's hard to get, okay? I don't know that I have a use for a pontoon bridge. You know, it's pretty darn big. Girders and things like that. I'm not advocating you do it, but you have to start to clip out Boxster and put them in an album. Some art is too good to be. You know, in this day and age when everything's available digitally, you know, if it didn't have like the logo of the stuff on it, I didn't keep all the art for my Tamiya model, so I'm not going to keep it. You know, yeah, I've got no place for all this stuff. How many pieces is this? Okay. Relatively easy to put together. Oh, nothing on the back. Okay, so I clip it out and send it to you. One thing left. Now, there was some stuff I didn't get. What didn't I get? The guy had a Fujimi King Tiger, so it's going to be 1/76 scale. I already have 2 or 3 King Tigers. I didn't need a King Tiger that was tiny looking. You know, it's pretty heavy actually. Again, no Japanese stuff, no landing craft stuff. You know, it's like, it's hard to find stuff for the Pacific. Nobody buys it. All right, this is still available. And I don't need any more of these, like a hole in the head. But for $3, I can't pass on two Panthers. It's 2 Panther tanks for $3 frickin' dollars. This is like a $25 item. No infantry. I don't need any more infantry. Let's open this bitch up. I got a bridge section, 2 pontoons. I got it in a box of scrap. We can bridge the Dnieper. I don't know. The Dnieper's pretty freaking wide. The Dnieper's very wide. The Dnieper could be in scale, in 1/72nd scale. I don't know. It could be 8 feet wide. But yeah, we can bridge something wide for sure. All right. Now these don't have openable turret hatches. Okay, but these are these quick build things. Again, I would love if somebody had like a bunch of like M1340s, right? Because they make an M1340 of this, and they come two to a pack, and I thought, man, I should buy like 5 packs of them. You know, to have 10 of them for some of the scenario. No, nobody has Italian stuff. But luckily, I got some Allied stuff, because it's usually like Germans, and decided Germans with more Germans. And it's like, you know, the Germans have to fight people, you know? I've never seen these before. Oh, these are really nice. These are really nice. Now, I'd probably put these together and store them somewhere, but it's getting to the point where I'm running out of storage space for them to sit on top of each other and them not crush each other. So I'm probably not gonna build these up until I'm ready to do something with them. They're awfully slippery looking. So, a couple of Panther Gs. No Zimmerit, so they got to be post-September 1944. You know? Yeah, I'm like, I had no intention of buying 1/72nd scale tanks. But I'm not going to leave this. Like, I spent like $40. Like, you know, what else am I going to do with $40? Have 2 beers? You know? It's silly not to get this. And it's entertainment value. You guys get to see it. You know. All right. So, pretty good deal. Now, here's the only bummer. The same place the hotel is held at in Kissimmee, in 2 weeks, they have a thing called Model-Palooza. It is an IPMS show that is supposedly a good place to have a lot of, like, good deals. I don't know if I want to go. Like, first of all, they don't tend to have armor in 1/72nd scale. If they do, there's not very much. You know, you could get them for like $5 a pop, which is still a good deal. I mean, not like this. Okay, I would rather have yesteryear's armor for $2 than like a modern dragon kit for $5. I don't mind building old models. They're okay. You know, they're not perfect, but who cares? And I like painting things that most people discount as like, that's not that good, and then make it look like a work of art. It's empowering to do that. Some people are like, oh, that's not the best thing that's available. I'm not going to waste my time on it. There's lots of stuff out there that's really good. Don't write off yesteryear stuff. And the same thing happens with like when I was doing 15mm figures. There's lots of 15mm figures that I have for ancients, whether they're Essex or, not Essex. Essex people still hold them in good regard. But minifigs, people discount minifigs and tabletop miniatures and what else? Stuff like that of like, oh, they're not accurate or they're not the best or they look phony or, you know, they all paint up really well. So I like painting what some people would call shitty stuff. I do. So I'm not really interested in going to Model-Palooza. I don't know if I'm not going to go, but, you know, I don't need anything. I mean, I've got, you know, I'm getting to the point where it's dangerous. I'm getting a lot of stuff now. And I don't need any of this stuff, but it's like, you know, I'll eventually, I put almost everything together. So, anyhow, what am I going to do? Waste $40, you know? All right, so I decided to go to Target on my way down there. Didn't find anything. And then I had to go to Walmart today because I had a freaking headache and I didn't have a pain medicine. So I'm like, all right, well, I wasn't going to plan on buying any of these, but since I have to go to the self-checkout anyways for ibuprofen, I ended up picking up some cars, and these are no-name Chinese. These are no-name Chinese cars that I believe they're only for Walmart. I believe they're Walmart-only models, and this is actually what got me to. This is some make-believe hot rod-looking thing, but looks pretty cool. Pretty good vehicle for Gaslands. We've got the guns, which is supposedly what's in here. That's the next unboxing we're going to do. We're going to do the unboxing on the guns, and. We're not going to start working on all this stuff. We're going to do one car at a time. But the first thing I want to check is to see if, given these things a flat coat, you know, because some of these vehicles are in a color I like, okay? In particular, there is this minivan that looks awesome. Okay, there's like this panel van that's like bright green, metallic. It looks really good. Okay, so giving them a flat coat and then giving them a brown wash, and then obviously the pin lining and all that stuff will work great. Now this isn't. We'll probably repaint this one, but there's some that look pretty good. So that's the first thing I want to try to do. You know, with the guns and shit like that. Okay, so this was, you know, of course these were like $1 or whatever. You know, $1.18, something like that. I don't know who the hell it's going to be for. It might be some generic. This is, I don't have a 350. I don't have a 350Z. So this is a 350Z. I'm not sure who that's going to be for. But, and this thing is just asking to be a gas lanes vehicle. Some make-believe thing. So I got to remember to take a before and after. Yeah, because you look at this like, it doesn't look that good. This thing's going to look freaking awesome. So, all right. So we got those at Walmart. I had no intention of getting them, but some people buy lottery tickets. I buy Matchbox cars. All right. The unboxing. This is a company called... I don't remember what the company is called. It's not in here. I probably have a receipt in here. This is from a guy in Texas. I can't imagine clipping box art. I'm bad enough about not throwing away instructions. I got like a pile of instructions like freaking this thick, and it's like, you know. All right, what do we got here? Who is the name of this company? And we'll find out if they're worth a damn. Switchyard Studios. Thanks so much for supporting my shop. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or if there's a problem with your order. Your reviews are very appreciated. All right, well, we're doing a video on it. Hopefully you're awesome and we'll do business with you again. Got them through Etsy. Ooh. Interesting baggies these come in. All right. What do we got here? Let's put the readers on. I'll try to bring them up to the camera so you guys can see. Whoa, these are dirty. Anyways, we'll be back on tomorrow morning at our normal thing. Probably working on some of this stuff right here. We're not going to build model kits. That's one way to... I mean, shit, I still have that Humber armored car I haven't painted and everything. Like, it gets to the point where I'm like having them teeter on top of each other, and I don't want the stuff damaged, so we need to finish some stuff before we do any more. All right, Switchyard Studios. We have some Rams here. Now, these aren't necessarily for every vehicle. Let's see what kind of 3D printing is it. Is it resin or F? It's got lines in it, but it's pretty fine. It's pretty fine. These are all like extra bumpers and stuff like that. Got a big old cow catcher. And they're relatively inexpensive. I think all of this stuff was like maybe... Well, without shipping, it was probably... With shipping, it's like $30. So I think it was like maybe 20. So, got a box of Rams. Not every vehicle is going to have a Ram, but, some... And like I mentioned, not every... I want... One thing that's important for me is that you can still see what the core vehicle is when you build it. Okay? I don't want to just put so much armor on it that you can't tell what the main vehicle was. That's just my personal choice. Okay? We got armor plate for windows. I wanted to see what the... I was kind of on the fence about getting this. And the big turret on the back that goes on a pickup truck. I don't know exactly how this goes. We'll have to look at the pictures again. But one of the pickup trucks, if this doesn't rotate, then I'm going to make it rotate with magnets. because that's what I do. And some armored plates and things like that for the vehicles. To probably cut these to size as needed. Lots of different stuff on here. I hope I really like this stuff. I'll order from this guy again. You can make some of your armor plates yourself, but I don't want to make everything. I don't want everything 3D printed. Look at this, they got like almost like you're chained in there, like you're in a box. It's got little rivets and stuff on there. Cool stuff. And we're planning on playing, I'm going to call it Gaslands only because people know what that is. But we're deviating for the first time on Tuesday. We're not going to, I talked to Mitch about it today, and one thing that's annoying about the rules is when you flip, the other guy gets to choose which way you're facing. And every time you flip, you always end up facing backwards because the guy wants you to have to do a 180 before you move again. And it's just dorky. So we're going to be using directional dice for that. All right, armor plates and the big old BFG. What do we got here? We got chain guns, I believe. Fuck, these are big. So I wanted to get these before I realized, like, man, some of these things are... Yeah, that's a pretty intense chain gun. Let's get the Tangtrum, which is unarmed at this point. Yeah, they got a bunch of miniguns and stuff on here. Man, this thing is like heavy duty, man. You could drop aircraft. You could do strafing around these things. So 20 or so of these things. If these are printed with FDM, they don't have really any lines. These are really pretty crisp. Some of them are even like sunken into the side. Okay? So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do that yellow bastard. What I'm calling yellow bastard from now on, which is a 69 Super B or something like that, in yellow. We're going to try and leave it in the base color because it's not that I don't want to repaint any of them. It's some of them, the paint job that comes on them is pretty freaking nice. Like this is the original paint color for this Mustang, this exaggerated Mustang. I found no reason to change it. It's a beautiful color. It has black lining on it. Pin lining on it. So, of course, we enhanced the engine was completely chrome looking. It was stupid chrome. Looks good now. We got headlights on it. It just doesn't have any weapons on it. All right. What else do we got here? We got MGs. So here's one of the problems I'm already seeing. That some of these things are pretty freaking big. They're actually too big. So that is the first disappointment with it. Some of these weapons look like they're almost for like 28 millimeter vehicles. So if you have some vehicle some weapon that's particularly recognizable, like this. This is obviously an M60 machine gun. And it'll probably be fine, but it's kind of fucking big. So I'm probably going to roll with it because the stuff is really good quality. And it's like, all right, well, that looks like too big of a machine gun. But if everybody's standard machine gun looks too big, then it'll all balance itself out. Does that make sense? Like, here's one of those British 30 cals, a Vickers. Here's a Vickers. It's pretty freaking big for a Vickers. The British vehicle should have a Vickers. No doubt. Water cooled. It's relatively large. I think it'll work out just fine. I don't know what the hell this is, but this is like a freaking shotgun with a magazine. I mean, here's a generic US 30 cal looking thing. It's really big. It looks like 28 millimeter. But, you know, it's probably in... I guess that's what tells me is I don't need to use 1/72 scale weapons. I don't need to take my 1/72 scale weapons from my tanks and put them on here because they're going to look too small next to this. Okay? Pretty nice. Pretty nice stuff. Yeah, the armor plates and the rams, you could see the little lines in it. This, you can't see any lines in these. It's almost like they're made a different way. So, pretty happy. What do we got here? Might be like the heavy machine gun stuff. Looks like you gave me some free stuff. I don't think I ordered this. This is like super high-tech weapons. Maybe it's just in with other stuff. These are some other MGs. Oh, maybe this is the turreted weapon pack. Yeah, that's what it is. It's turreted weapons. Oh, it's a smorgasbord of stuff. Look, we got a little launcher. Boom. That might have been what it is. It was like a smorgasbord of things. Some over-under machine guns. This one's kind of cool. Two of them laying side by side. And I didn't order this stuff. He sent me over, what is this? Looks like a little container for something. Okay, like a... And then we've got a couple fuel cans. Some kind of an oil drum. And something that would probably blow up if you like penetrated with an armor-piercing incendiary. A tracer ammunition. A couple rockets here on the roof. Yeah, this might have been one of the packs that just had a smorgasbord of different stuff. So I got plenty of stuff to work on what I'm going to put together on it. I'm going to kind of brainstorm and kind of do a configuration for that Super B. Probably going to do it pretty generic, like, you know, a machine gun in the rear and like a heavy in the front, and like call it a day on that one, and just see how it looks like with all the stuff on there. So, but anyways, this is what I picked up. This, of course, arrived yesterday, the day I wasn't here. But, yeah, good stuff ahead. There was like some... I came really close to picking up some railroad buildings. They were already pre-built. Because some of them would probably work as like side buildings for like a racetrack. But I'm like, I got too much stuff. And when I get too many things, I get a little discouraged. I get a little overwhelmed. So I don't want to get too much stuff. But that's what we have. That's what we unboxed. That's what we got. So pretty good deal. You're still waiting for your damn Japs. Found the package coming from Spain. I doubt it'll get it anytime soon. Oh, man. I think the British self-propelled artillery was called the Bishop. I think the British probably had some Bishops that were the 105s, but they had the Sexton that had the 25-pounder. It might be one of those situations where the Americans didn't name theirs. And they had to rely on the British coming up with a crafty name for them. Anyways, that's it for this video. How long we're on here? 46 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You'll see some of this stuff come through. And we'll work on Gasland stuff in the morning, or whatever we're going to call it. We'll call it Blastlands for the time being, but we're going to start tinkering with it, improving it. This isn't DBA. We're like, okay, this is just a guide, you know. We're not going to do everything by the book if we can come up with a better way that works for us. All right, folks.